Hey, what is going on, everyone? Choco back, and we're finally back with some Kwehville. I've been thinking about the series quite a bit. There might be some changes in terms of the way that I end up structuring content on this and stuff like that. I think I am going to stay on the server and keep on working on things. I don't think there's any danger of Kwehville stopping, but I do think that I need to make some adjustments before I get too into it. We'll be talking about what this is. Actually, no, let's talk about this right now. So apparently, hold on, okay, sorry. Let's dial it back. Dial it back, everybody. All right, so what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna be going into the district planning phase. Now, district planning is a lot of just grinding and a lot of work and stuff, but having come off of my giant Kingdom Hearts playthrough, I'm feeling like super ready to just dive in and just have a good time with a lot of grinding, and you know, you might see a little bit of full Choco going on. We'll see. I'm not too sure about that right now, but you know, we're gonna get into some stuff. But yeah, we're gonna be planning out like, hey, this is what this area is responsible for, carving up the land a little bit and making a central point to see like, hey, well, how's this all gonna look? How's this all gonna work? So on and so forth. But anyways, this little doohickey here was apparently found by, I think, Tex and Artie, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just one of these little things that just kind of messes up. And you might be noticing like, oh man, Choco, like, are you losing your items and stuff? Yeah, I am, until I'm not, you know? It's because the server and the client are disagreeing about what's happening. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and head inside and let's talk about districts. Let's talk about what we're going to be doing for how Kwehville's going to shape up. And also, yeah, there has definitely been work done. Ooh, we got some spookiness. I don't remember what the buttons are. What are the buttons? Is it this? Yeah, that's that. Okay. Okay, so, yeah, we got ourselves a pretty hefty sugarcane farm and some other stuff going on. And we also got ourselves, let's see how they did this. I'm actually not entirely sure how they did this, so that looks pretty clean. That looks pretty good. Let me go ahead and sleep away the night. Alrighty. One of the upsides of being the only one on the server at the moment. What was that? Is it this? But there's nothing here. We have so much chicken, it doesn't matter. All right, sorry, I was just like, what in the world? It's been a minute. The Kingdom Hearts playthrough took me much longer than I had originally anticipated, but you gotta honor your word, you know. You gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, and this is Whiskey's cow farm. So for those of you who don't know what this is, Whiskey made a cow farm, so we can get some biff and some leather and some good old stuff like that. Be honest, I'm not entirely sure about the design of this thing. I know what the design is. I just don't know. It seems kind of strange to me. All right. So, anyways, let's go ahead and I guess so. There's nothing on this side, right? So that's all fine and dandy. I think we are going to go this way and check out what's going on over here. Okay, so we got ourselves these chests. It's collecting some sugar cane, some melon slices, pumpkin. The amount seems to be pretty small, and that cart's only going along the bottom. So the question then becomes, okay, so the idea is that it's supposed to grow whatever, then push it over to the tilled land, and then the tilled land is going to end up, so like sugarcane up from up there, it's going to break all of them, push it down, it's going to land on there, and then it's going to get picked up. Okay, cool, I understand that. That's pretty good. I like that. Yeah, that's cool. All right, that's fine. Oakley dokley. All right, so let's go ahead and figure out other things are going on. I think that was it, though. I don't think there's a whole lot else that's happened. Okay. Well, I suppose I'll go ahead and get sucked into this. just goes on. Okay. Up. Nope. Up. It's a giant text face. What? What have we found? Does Artie's home have a text shrine? Is that... I have many questions. I have so many questions and some general concerns. I have many questions about life, and I just don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore. I thought I knew what was happening, but I clearly don't. Okay, so there might have been server artifact. Server artifact, the MIA one. She arrived, nobody knows when, then left. Forever, MIA. Oh, man. I will leave it up to everyone's discretion to figure out what that... Holy cow, this has to be Brimmy's house. That is so pink. My brain just... That was... Wow, that was pink. All right. And... You know, I don't know how I'm going to break the news. I don't know how I'm going to break the news that all this has to go. This is going to be a very... Oh, my... What the heck? When did this happen? Oh, no, these are the original chests and stuff. We just never... Ah, okay, I see. Okay, I see. Do we just, like, submerge this? Whose house just got buried? Noctis was here. Well, no wonder we buried it with something like that written there. I don't know about that one. Interesting. Okay. So, huh. There's a whole bunch of little dude. Ah, yes, in our new enchanting system thing. But yes, we're going to go ahead and figure out districts. I keep on saying that, and then we keep on getting sidetracked by discovering things. It's kind of weird. All right, anywho. Let's go onward and upward. So the central area here, I may need to cheat a little bit here because I don't think I can explain this well without cheating. So I think we're going to go ahead and go into cheat mode. Spectator, maybe? Okay, cool. Oh, I do have spectator. Great. I was kind of worried that I wouldn't have this. Take 2 of explaining what in the world was going on in my brain skulls and how districts are going to work. So the district system is supposed to be a representation of the different plots of land / space in this world where people are responsible for something and there's some kind of specific function towards those districts. Now you might be like, I don't understand what that means, Choco. Like, could you explain? As an example, there would be one for farming. Another one might be for enchanting / doing stuff with anvils and stuff like that, which I'm going to affectionately call the forge because there's not really a whole lot of forging that happens. This isn't like a modded server where we have Tinker's Construct and stuff like that. So the forge will probably be a different thing. It might be called the forge. It might be called the industrial district. I'm not entirely sure yet because, again, there's not a whole lot of like multi-step things that you build in Minecraft Vanilla, but there are things that you can do that need a spot to happen, like having the enchantment table have a good place, having a place for stockpiling and keeping all of our different enchantment books, equipment, and general materials for crafting tools and stuff like that. So that's gonna be a pretty big part. We're also gonna probably need a couple for some like specific kinds of farms that may not necessarily fit in here, right? Like, so for example, I think there will be like a forestry kind of thing here. The iron farm is not going to be considered a district. The iron farm is the iron farm, and we're not going to really mess with that. The wheat farm I see is still very much under construction. And the fishing thing, I think the fishing could be a district. And the reason why I say this is that I think we're going to make this into the docks district. This will probably end up turning into like, we're going to properly make, you know, a full scale like dock / pier / whatever else. So we're gonna have to go ahead and do a lot of those things. But yeah, the original plan for that was that this would turn into the central area, the keep, where everything kind of connects and everything goes to. it is supposed to be the case that we're supposed to actually connect everything that we make with roads. As you can tell, that never really happened with a lot of this, so that's going to be a lot of work that I think I'm going to just end up doing, just because I don't really see how else it would... I don't think it's going to get done unless I do it, so I'm going to probably just do it. We also have a couple of other odds and ends and stuff going on that, like, we're supposed to have, obviously, like, safe areas and whatever else and blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, anyways, so districts, areas where certain things are supposed to happen, people are responsible for it, also where they would probably make their houses and, like, their thing of residence. I'm not sure. I reached out to everyone on the server in our little chat thing, and we're going to see, like, what people are still going to be, like, really, like, invested in the series. Assuming that people are still invested in the series, then chances are what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start divvying up districts and figuring that stuff out. The only ones that must exist, in my mind anyways, is that we must have this, like, well, I say this because I have some stuff going in my mind right now, but the farming district, we should absolutely have that. We need to have a port/harbor district. And then I'm thinking we also want to have, like, the industrial / like forge thing, which the original plan is to have it inside the mines, right? So it's supposed to be the case that underneath the keep, like underneath the central area, this is why we hollowed all this out, we have a giant thing for just making stuff and just all this cool nonsense and having, like, you know, the apothecary and all that junk in here. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see about how that all goes. It should be... So if I go straight up... I'm cheating right now. I'm cheating so hard. So if I'm going straight up, yeah. So it should go underneath this area, right? Actually, we kind of missed it. But that's okay. We're pretty close. So we can... So within this area, we're supposed to be able to make it so we can make a stair downward, and then we can reach this area. That's the whole point of why we built the underground clearing. But either way, that is the plan for that. Those are the three that I think we must have. It covers our basic necessities in terms of, like, food, making sure that we have a lot of trades valid for the different kinds of villagers, like your farmer types, some of your craftsman types, and then you're also going to have certain other things like the librarian benefits from the sugarcane and so on and so forth. We also would get the added benefit of also having the harbor, port, whatever district. This will be like auto fishing things, stuff like that. Not so much reliant on the villager side, not something that really gets us a whole lot of emeralds and stuff like that, but it would allow us to have extra sources of, like, books and stuff, because to my understanding, you can still get some really valuable things from fishing, and the auto fishers would be good here. It's also a place for us to dock our boats, have things like that. Also to have, like, a launch point for going out into the vast ocean. The one thing that we would need to do, and one thing I would love to do on this server with this group, would be to have kind of waterways and, like, general ways that you can get by with through, like, boat movement and whatever else. The Nether is more efficient, but I think it would feel a lot better if we could also have ways to get around the overworld a lot more effectively through the use of boats. And then, of course, for the industrial thing, you know, it's gonna have a whole bunch of good stuff. So either way, that is the general plan. That's the kind of overall idea. I think what we're gonna do, though, is I might kind of switch up what I had in mind. I think this might turn into our farming district. It's a little bit more intense than I would have thought, but we could certainly do that. And then that still stays as our port/harbor, but maybe we expand out this way and we carve out the keep here. The only problem is that's near a swamp. I don't like the idea of having the keep near a swamp. And this is too close to the foresting one. Well, I guess it's not too terribly close. It might actually make sense to do that, though. We'll see. Hold on. Choco.exe is working and must think now for a little while. The keep. Let's see. Is there a way for me to measure dimensions? Absolutely is. So we are currently on the X coordinate, and we're at, what, 1190, and then that's going to bring us to 1270 or so. Yep, okay. So that's about 80. So what? This would be, if I wanted to take it one step higher, it'd be 100. Let's just take a look. Let's just take a gander and see how it would work. So if this was supposed to be 100, that would bring us to roughly here by this little cove, which then leads, of course, into another swamp, because apparently we are all giant fans of Shrek, and that's all we can ever seem to find. Man, we found a lot of like these little puddles and lakes and stuff. It's kind of incredible how many we have found. Well, either way. All right, so let's go ahead and let's start thinking. Okay, so let's start carving some stuff out. I think for this, I'm going to go ahead and actually stay in game mode, just because the planning section of this is just going to go by faster. It's not really going to help me a terrible lot, in my opinion, but it should help a little bit. So let's start carving out what would end up being part of the port or the harbor district. I think I want to go ahead and indicate this with, no, torches are actually a resource thing. Cobblestone we should have an infinite amount of. Like, I'm not even going to use dirt. I don't know why I did that, but we're not even going to use dirt just because dirt technically is not renewable, technically. So we're going to go ahead and go with that. So let's go ahead and start bordering out some of this stuff. So let's say that we're going to go ahead and say probably along this, because that's a flat. So we're going to go ahead. Actually, no, it can't be here. I should probably be doing this from the other side. So let's go ahead and say that the first district is going to, I think, encompass... Oh, this is perfect, actually. This is legitimately perfect bordering. Okay. So something along the lines of this, where we're going to end up having just out of the way. All right, so we're just going to have this going all the way through. And we do want to have a little bit of character, right? We don't want this just to be like a straight shot. For a little bit, it will be a straight shot, but I think we do want to have a little bit of character, a little bit of fun. I also don't want to do too much in terms of making anything for this, because whoever inherits this district, it should be their thing, right? This should be their area, and I don't want to mess around too much with it. I just want to set up the borders so people can start building and stuff, because I know some people are getting impatient about, like, Joko, when are we going to have our own areas? I want to have like my own area to do whatever I want and start progressing and do whatever I like. And I completely understand that feeling. So that's why we're doing this right now, and why I'm kind of doing it in a more hasty kind of way. I should also be theoretically making thick borders, but we're just going to go ahead and do this for now, so we can have a general outline. All right. And then we're going to loop this in for a little bit. And then do that. And the reason why we're adding in some of these flats here is because of the fact that we actually are going to need multiple points of entry and exit. And it allows for a little bit more flexibility with certain things. So that's why we're doing that, if you were curious. Let's see here. We are aiming for, I guess, right there. So we are... Actually, we might be dead on. I might need to do a little bit of some smoothing and stuff, because this is going to be pretty weird to have that long of a diagonal. Wow, we were like dead on. We were like right on the money. Okay, so there's the port area. The one side of it anyways. That's a pretty decent chunk of real estate. And then for this one, this is far simpler. This is just going to end up being... Well, I guess I don't even have to really define that part. It's just going to go right there, and then it's going to fall along with this mountainside. We will need to excavate this, though, at some point. But yeah, I'm I'm going to go ahead and say that it's going to probably be... let's go ahead and say it's going to be like... okay. How am I going to illustrate this well? Yeah, maybe not this far out. That seems a little bit weird. It's too long of a distance. Okay, we'll just settle for this being the main port area. So then this will end up being bordered. Let's say, let's do it in line with the actual farm area. So let's see here. My current thing that I'm moving along is the Z. So I need to make sure I'm at 70. So let's go ahead and border that off. Alright, so we got that going on now. So this will be the port district. And well, rip that torch. That torch is no more. Alright, so we got something like that going on now. This totally is a security risk, but you know what? Oh, okay, I can do that. There we go. Security risk is gone. Alright, so now we're looking at a port district that's going to be roughly that size. That's a pretty decent size for everything there. And this, by the way, is to the inclusion of this island. Now, I think that, roughly speaking, I'm going to border this as well, actually, because that's probably something that would be worthwhile mentioning. The very tip of this is also going to be a technical border, so we have to make something fancy for this, like a... It doesn't really matter in this game. This actually would have mattered a lot more in a game like Ark or something, but we're going to be making this into a thing as well. I'm thinking kind of like Greek, something like that, you know, where it's like that really cool influence of... Hey, by the by, we are also... Well, let me see what the coordinate is here so I don't completely screw this up. But like having maybe like a statue here or something kind of cool, and then worrying about like how we're going to be presenting the like entry area for the port. I think that'd be kind of neat. You know, just to signify like, hey, you made it home. You made it home versus never making it back. We're just going to border this, I think, proper, because this is going to take too long otherwise. Alright, so let's go ahead and get that all going. Now, I think... Yeah, okay, so we are going to need... Yeah, okay. We're going to need to go ahead and expand this... Actually, what we should be doing is this. I did not do this in the right way. So I still think that that's fine. To some degree, we should have that. Maybe right so it borders the swamp water, right? So while it's still blue. I think technically that'd be a little bit of swamp water there, but go ahead and build this out for a bit. And then we're going to go ahead, start expanding that one out. I know some of you guys hate the F3. I know. Believe me, I remember all the complaints from chat. That's like, Joko, the F3, it hurts my eyes. But I need this up just for a bit longer. Okay, and then we're gonna do, I think, kind of like a, well, we'll make it flush actually. We'll make this like a flat entry exit. Because we want to have this be more controlled, right? So. Ugh. And supplying this thing is going to be pretty crazy. Alright. If I could ever, make it. All right. Cool beans. I was one off. Feels super bad. Dadgummit. We're one off. Come on, game. Ugh. The struggles of life. The actual legitimate struggles of life right now. I know we're missing some. I'll break them later. Alrighty. And we're getting close. I see it. There we go. Okay, cool. So with that, we now have the port district completely outlined, I believe. So just kind of like take a little view of everything here. I suppose if I want to make a true border, I ought to. You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna leave this open-ended and just kind of assume that people will understand. I don't know who's gonna inherit this. I think Callie was working on the port before. But we're gonna actually adjust this a little bit. I'm gonna change this border because this border doesn't really make sense the way it is, because it really is just kind of like, it's arbitrary looking. Because it is arbitrary, but I mean, like, it's looking a little bit too why this way? Why would you do this to yourself, kind of thing. Also, rip that sand. Sand is technically not replenishable. All right. So we have these things here. I think the natural boundaries are just going to kind of make up whatever is going to happen here. So to that end, I'm going to go ahead and leave that be. Yeah. So I'll leave it to whoever inherits this district to help define that border. There shouldn't be anything out here, so that should be okay. And the industrial thing is going to be an entirely different problem, but not current Choco problems. All right, and then we have ourselves the port district. Now, if we treat this as the farming district, right, where we have a lot of these things, and we do want the farm stuff to be relatively close to one another, so that way when someone AFKs, that whole area is running, we don't have it too far away from each other. I think we're gonna go ahead and divvy up. Now, do I want to make the castle? So if I head this way, unless I'm, incredibly mistaken, but yeah, if I head this way, that's where our villager and all that stuff is. So logically, it stands to reason that the castle keep would be in the middle, right? Like, you have the farm district there that we keep pretty well defended or whatever. We have the docks, and then maybe we have the castle like that. That makes sense to me. Yeah, I think we go with that. Okay, so we'll do that, and I'm going to have to start, appropriating the space for this. So this wall, if I'm not mistaken, should be 7 wide, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10? Why 10? What? Wait, maybe it's the pathway? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why is it 8? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Huh? 8. Oh, no, 8 is correct. I'm sitting here going, why the heck is it 8? Because you want it to be odd. No, we don't want it to be odd. I'm just dumb. Okay. So, if this is going to be an 8 thing, then perhaps what we ought to be doing is let's go ahead and start doing this. So castle district wise, we're looking at, so this was like 100 or 80 rather, right? Oh, this way it's actually not that much. So like 70. Oh, it's about 80. Okay. So what we're gonna do here then is I'm gonna measure this one out. Okay, so I want that to hit about, we're gonna do a rough outline first, because this will not just be like a giant square, but I need to see what this roughly looks like. So I need this to be -100. Rip. Let's see how far this goes. It's one thing to talk about numbers, but a completely different thing to actually see what we're doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out a little bit more. I just said a whittle bit. Oh my lord, I'm gonna hear no end of that. I'm gonna get so much shenaniganry. All right, let's see. What are we talking about here? That's not bad at all. That's a very manageable size. Let's expand that out. We can go a little bit further than that. That's ridiculous. I'm not gonna. No, that's ridiculous. We can totally expand this part out. Okay, so let's do the quote unquote kingdom border, right? So we would want to have something that's gonna, you know, kind of. How's this gonna work? It's gonna be okay. So we're gonna go ahead and just do a little bit of this. That's not what I wanted. And then we're gonna dip inward. Get a little bit of this going. Okay, and then we're talking like here should be one of the major endpoints. Okay, so something like this, and hopefully what's going to end up happening here is I'm going to hit a flat point. I'd like to have a flat point that's looking westward is what I would like to have happen. We'll see if we get it. We'll see if we are lucky enough to get that flat point. Actually, you know what? No, I like that idea. Let's make this a firm corner. Start seeing what this will look like. God bless block updates. All right. It's looking pretty good. So you have an access way to the swamp. You have the port district that's neighboring it. And then you have this footprint here, which gives you a pretty good buffer as well. Let me see here. So you're talking about something that's going to do this. Okay, so ooh, this is gonna be weird. I want you to go about here, right? So about, let's see if that looks about right. I don't really need to have spatial perfection here. I just need to have something. Yeah, that looks about right. And then for this bad boy, we're just gonna have this. What's so good? What about here? It's not going to just be this, but for the time being, this will make life a little bit simpler. Okay, then let's make it so that that part is going to have an endpoint right about here. Okay. Which means I would like for this to be a very gentle thing here. I don't need to do a whole lot of adjustment, but I do need to do some. have that flare out. Out of the way. There we go. That looks about right. So now, the big boy area is looking pretty big boy. Doesn't feel quite right. I think we want to echo what's going on over there a little bit more, actually. So we're going to actually rip that out. Wow, I landed like directly on the spider. That was kind of weird. All right, let's redefine the borders. Doesn't have to be a carbon copy or like a perfect mirror, but I do want it to be a little bit more in line with that, because I do like the idea of it being a little bit better for kind of just like using as a central point. Yeah, so let's see here. So if this is our furthest out point, let's say, then something like over here or so. What is this? I don't know what this is about. I need to measure it. Yeah, at least have a rough measurement. Okay, so like 54 out to... Okay, so roughly 50. So then if I want to go about 50 out from here, we're talking 1180, so like 1130 or so. Takes us out to here. Wow. Okay. I really underestimated that one. That was whoo boy. All right. Let's go ahead and put down our blocks there. I don't know if I counted that right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So then we're looking at something more like this. Okay. Nice shoes you got there, buddy. Very cool. I don't know why I did that, but it's a thing now. Oh, I'm just really spatially not apt. Okay, so something like that. Let's see. That look any better? Oh, that looks much better. Oh, God bless. That looks so much better. Okay. And then for this one, we just need to choose a point like right about here or so. Eight, 9, 10. Very, very good. All right, and then we're just gonna curve this bad boy in here. Okay, give it a little bit of a flat here. And then move it along very nicely. Then have a nice little flat point there. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and expand this bad boy out. Ooh, we might be on a big diagonal path here. I don't know. We're gonna have to do something, I think. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to do something because this is gonna end up being kind of weird. I think the right thing to have done there, well, we'll see. I'm gonna see if this will be okay or not. I get the feeling we're gonna overshoot by a bit. So I'm gonna have to figure out something else probably. But until we get to that point, I think we're just gonna go ahead and rock on with this. Get it? Rock on, cobblestone. It's a cobblestone joke. Don't mind me. I'll be here all night. Alrighty. And out we go. Oh no. Out we go to. Nope, that's not the right placement. Again, I keep messing up this cobblestone placement. Okay. And then. Too much. Yeah, it's way too much. Okay. We're gonna break you down. And then we're gonna do a little bit of this. How am I so bad at placing blocks? I've been doing this for years. Years, I tell you. And I still can't place blocks correctly. Okay. Okay. Castle District is now outlined. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, cool. So Castle District is now outlined. Port District outlined. Farm District already outlined by virtue of what already was there. Industrial District is the only one, and this is going to be great because I don't have to do a whole lot for this, but I do have to technically make a little bit of something for it, which, well, actually, no, I don't. Do I have to do anything for it? No, I don't. No, that's a future choco problem. Because we have to hollow like everything underneath, and that I can't cheat, so I can't. We're gonna leave that alone. But all right, cool. So we got all that going on, and then I guess the question then becomes, how are we gonna start weaving things together? Let me see if I got any responses to the server. Absolutely not. So this becomes no one's domain, really. This is just kind of like no man's land out here. So let's start making like an actual, just like, you know what we could do? Yeah, let's do that actually. We're gonna make one more district, and we're just gonna call this like the neighborhood district, I guess. You know, keeping in line with civilization naming themes, I guess. But we'll just make one that's just meant for housing purposes, I think. So this one is going to be, I think, just a little straightaway here. And then we'll kind of figure out how many people are still like actually going to be playing actively. And then we're going to determine how many little things we have to divvy this into. But this, in and of itself, should be actually a pretty darn useful thing. Sorry, tree. I need you to move. I need you to scoot. Scoot the tree booty. Okay. I'm hoping that kills off the leaves. There is a very good chance that there is a tree trunk somewhere that's going to still consider that whole thing to be alive. Which I really wish wasn't the case, but it will probably be the case. Come on! Really? All right. I had to build into a forest. Just had to. Just couldn't help myself. All right. And then let's pick Did I really have to put that right there? Guess we'll go off this one. So okay, so we got all of this going on. I just need to cut across as best as I can. Yeah, okay. Just keep putting blocks down. I started doing the Finding Nemo song, but no, this is serious business. Build, 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 build. I'm just going to assume that at some point I'm going to hit another elevation climb. If not, we're going to deal with this floating boundary, and that's going to be a-okay with me. Nope. We hit a tree. George, George, George of the jungle, strong as you can be. Ah, watch out for that tree. Could you all move your butts? Thank you. Appreciate all the butt movage, if possible. Oh, of course. We also hit a big tree. A big old tree. Break all that up. Alrighty. Okay, cool. So that ends up... Let's connect this. That ends up being pretty okay. We overshot by a bit, but that's alright. So we'll kind of figure out if we need to do any other additions or whatever else, but that should be the neighborhood district, which should... I'm guessing that we're going to end up with something like maybe 6 or so people that will be like wanting to be active on this. So this is going to be divided between 6 people. Obviously, if we need to expand, we can expand the district out a little bit more, and there's no real problem with that. But my feeling is that this is going to be about 6 people, and there's not their main residences, but it's going to be a little place where they can have their own, like, this is my storage for this area kind of thing. And then other than that, I think we're going to go ahead and say that's pretty much all set and done. So in terms of how everything's going, to recap what we've done, yeah, we're going to have the port district, which is going to be all of this, right? Even out to the ocean, but all of that real estate is port. This is going to be redone into the farm district, right? So this is going to be where we put all of our farming stuff because we already have so much of it done anyway. This underground stuff, we're not going to worry about the industrial forge, whatever you want to call it. That stuff we're going to leave be. This is going to be the castle district, and the castle district is really, there's no real function per se, but it's going to be like our main, like, this is the main, like, ooh, ah, this is what we're working towards. Because Minecraft, you don't really have, like, you have the objectives, I guess, where you're, you know, slay the Ender Dragon and kill the Wither and stuff. But really, this is, I think, where we're going to be dumping in a lot more time into, making a little additions here and there, and making our own version of, like, a little castle area, which I think we kind of need. Then we have, of course, our neighborhood district, which is going to be here, which is going to be like really small things of housing and places just kind of keep our stuff. So who knows? Maybe we're going to get like a little 3x3 dirt shack for somebody, probably me. And then maybe someone else is going to make like a nice little tower or something. It's completely up to them. We have to still figure out how many people are going to fit into here. So that'll be a big question for us to have. And I think that's about it. And of course, we can add in more districts as time goes on. But in terms of like the very critical ones, those are it. The forestry district could become a thing. We'll have to see. If that were to be the case, I would imagine that the outline would be something like from... So there's this big old mountain thing. So probably at the end of this mountain, so maybe about here or so. So something like that. And then this was a wheat farm, or supposed to be a wheat farm. I think Theo's going to kill me. I think Theo might just be like, nope, I ain't doing it. But I'm thinking that we might just take this whole operation and make that the center part of the farm district, because really that's the big thing that we're going to need a lot of space for. So we're going to have to rip all this pre-existing village stuff out, and then I think we're just going to try to make the wheat farm come over here and then redo that. And yeah, I think we'll be pretty good. And again, the iron stuff and all that, that's going to be its own thing. If we want to make a district around it at some point, fine. But that's not going to be very high on the priority list. So we, of course, have this stuff over here, the villager farm. And then further on yonder, we have ourselves the iron farm, which looks like it's pretty much been in the same state that it's always been in. Maybe they added in a couple more layers. Hard for me to tell. Huh? What is this? What the fleep is this? That's a big no-no. Why did we do... Huh? Why did we do that? Am I crazy? What? I just realized. People probably don't know why we don't do that. Okay, never mind. For those of you who are more savvy about these kinds of things, yes, I am aware that this is going to kill our spawn rates and stuff. I did not... For some reason, it took me until now to realize that this is not set up in a good way. We will have to do things. We will fix this up at some point. Don't you worry. That will happen. But all in all, pretty good. Alrighty. Well, in that case, I hope you all did enjoy this little episode talking about the kind of future of the Kwehville series. Depending upon how things go and depending on how things shake out, we might take this in a very different direction and stuff. Because originally the idea was that we had a good number of folks on the server. Everyone would have their duties. Everyone would be recording, kind of figuring out, like showing what's been happening. And it was supposed to be like the evolution of like this town city thing. But clearly it's more of like, we did this and then suddenly this pops up out of nowhere and then this pops out of nowhere and then so on and so forth. It started off kind of in the right way, but I think it's kind of turned into something of its own. If people want that, I might let them just go loose, do whatever they want with it, and then just kind of like pop my head in from time to time. But if we are able to get back on track, then I think that's fine. But I do want to see something where it's more of like a building up something. So I do really feel very strongly about that. So we'll see if this ends up being that series. If it doesn't end up being that series, that's totally fine. I still want this to go on because I still think it's a great place for us to kind of like hang out and have our own Minecraft server. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this ends up going. But anywho, thank you all very much for watching this episode of Kwehville. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did enjoy it, consider leaving a like rating down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you'd like to go check out other people's perspectives and solve the mysteries of many, many different things, chief among them, for me at least, being the really kind of like what the heck moment I had with... Not here. Where is it? Where are you? Wait, is there something else here? The rat hole? Wall rat subs. Ha, Liam! I am a blueberry Tory. A1. I recognize some of these people. Poor guys. Here, we'll get you moving. Oh, it's Liam and Joseph. I think this is Texas' way of saying that they drive each other crazy. They keep each other going. I don't know. But this was also not what... Okay, well, we discovered something else new. But where is the, Choco small brain? Where is that one little... Wasn't it just like a hole in the ground? No, that's Jesse's thing. I swear, where is Artie's hovel? It's so well hidden that even I can't find it after having found it. It's somewhere. Nope, that's Whiskey Saloon. Where is it? Hello? I want to go back down there. I want to go back down there and just kind of like... Oh wait, that's Callie's house. That's Jesse's house. Where in the world? Brain! Why are we not getting along again? Thought we had a standing agreement that we were going to get along. Dadgummit, brain cells. Was it in here? I don't think it was in here. No, it wasn't in here. Okay, Look for the 2 things of water. Ah, there it is. I see it. Okay. Bloop. Down we go. There we go. Yeah, and you can, if you want to check out like Texas perspective, I'm assuming that he showed him building his little rat hole, and then of course, I don't think Artie would have it. He has a channel and everything. He just doesn't upload anything there. But I'm guessing that you can find something about his little project from Texas side. Anyways, thank you all very much. Have a wonderful, safe day. Take care, and ciao for now.